Over the past 3 years, we've helped generate hundreds of thousands of dollars for our clients and booked them over 1,000 qualified meetings. Using these tactics, our clients have also gotten to work with some pretty big name brands, like Deep Social, who landed a contract with a company on the stock market. So today, I'll be showing you everything that I've learned about lead generation so you can just copy me and use the information that I'm showing you in this video to grow your own company and generate more leads. Let's hop right into it. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, here is everything that I've learned about lead generation over the past 3 years, and I have everything essentially summarized in just 4 key points. So I'm not going to waste any of your time. Let's get into the first point that I have for you here. So the first thing that I need you to understand, and the first big point for you, is that the offer is king, right? So here's what I mean. This is the most important part of lead generation, without a doubt. The most important part is just having a great offer. And I cannot tell you the amount of times that we've worked with some clients that don't really have an offer, don't really know what their offer is, or have a idea of the product market fit. It's fine if you don't know your product market fit, but you have to be willing to try out different offers and try out different value propositions to figure out what offers work best for you, right? So, like I said, this is the most important part of lead generation as a whole. You cannot sell something that other people do not want, right? And the thing is, you don't get to decide what other people want. The market gets to decide what other people want, right? So the market decides what they want essentially, but you can't really decide for them. Like, okay, I'm going to sell this to this market. Well, I mean, have you tried it? And then you're gonna be like, no, but it'll work. But it might not even end up working out, right? Because the market gets to decide what it wants, not you. And the easiest way to make your offer essentially stand out is by making sure it's relevant to your ICP, right? So you have to understand, how can my offer, whether I'm selling software, whether I'm selling services, whatever it may be, how can my offer be relevant to my customers, to my ideal customers? How is it relevant to my ideal customers? What pain points can it solve of my ideal customers? How can it help them achieve a desire that they may have? How can it alleviate a pain that they may have, right? So you have to do all of this, like, essentially different stuff. And the way you do this is by doing market research and just testing different value propositions and angles, right? Like I said, you do not get to decide what the market wants. The market decides what it wants, right? And you can't sell something that other people don't have or don't want. So really, this is the most important part. Just having a great offer makes lead generation as a whole super easy for you. Whether you're selling your own software, whether you're selling your services, basically you have to get into the weeds of, well, what does my ideal target market want? How can I help them achieve that desire that they have, or how can I help them solve a pain point that they have, right? So again, the most important part, make sure you do market research and find out what your ICP wants. And speaking of ICP, that brings me to my second point, which is targeting. So you have to get super specific on your targeting sometimes, right? And I don't mean that, I only work with this type of customer. When you're doing lead generation, whether you're running paid ads or whether you're running cold emails or whatever it may be, it's very, very helpful to be super specific based off of what job title they are, what industry they are, what technologies they use, what geographical location they use, how many employees they have at their company, blah, 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 right? You guys get my point. But the more specific you are, the better, as your messaging can be direct towards one specific persona. Imagine, let's say you're like, okay, I only work with CMOs, right? Well, that's a pretty broad statement to make. There's a lot of CMOs in many different industries across the board of many different types of companies, as well as having different, like a CMO of 1,000-person company would have different pain points and desires than a CMO of a 20-employee company, would they not? So that targeting of CMOs, just CMOs, is very, very, is too broad. Like, you can't write a specific you can't write an email targeting that specific persona and going after the pain points or the desires that they may have. Instead, if you're like, okay, I only work with CMOs of insurance companies that have 100 to 200 employees that are based out in Texas. That's a little too specific. Let's say US, right? But either way, if you make it like that, it's very, very easy to write an email to them because okay, well, insurance companies, CMOs of insurance companies of this employee headcount size, they usually deal with this pain point, this pain point, this pain point. They're usually using paid ads, some SEO, but they're not really using content. Here's how I can help them, right? So if you are super specific with your targeting based on whatever job title they are, whatever industry they are, whatever technology they use, geographical location, employee headcount, it's very, very easy to write and run a campaign targeting these ideal customers. So get super specific, write down specific characteristics they may have. And again, the best ones are job title, industry, employee headcount, technologies they use, as well as geographical location. If you have those, you'll be fine, right? So that's the second thing. Targeting is key. The third step is social presence and credibility. So with lead generation, you need to build trust with your audience in forms of testimonials, having an online presence, having a VSL, and the more of this you have, the easier it is to convert cold traffic, right? So you have to understand, whether you're running paid ads or cold email, you are essentially a stranger coming into their inbox or coming into their feed, pitching them your services or product, right? So why should they trust you? Unless you're someone like Alex Hormozi, Russell Brunson, freaking Grant Cardone, Tony Robbins, or somebody who has like insane amount of social presence, they're not gonna trust you right off the bat. You have to build that trust by having some type of social presence or social proof of, okay, hey, I checked this guy's website. He has like 1,000 subs on YouTube. I checked this guy's social presence. He has 1,000 subs on YouTube, and then I checked his website, and he has multiple case studies of people just like me or people similar to me. Wow, okay, I can trust this guy. Let me click on his ad. Let me respond to his email, right? So you have to have social proof. That way, it's a lot easier to convert cold traffic to. Again, you are a stranger. You are a stranger when you're doing cold traffic. They don't trust you, so why should they even hop on a call with you? Why should they buy your services? Why should they even entertain the idea of working with you or buy your stuff, right? So the easiest way to basically build that trust is by having testimonials. Interview your current customers, have client success stories or customer success stories on your website, on your YouTube, have an online presence, post YouTube videos, post LinkedIn post, and have a VSL on your website that explains what you do. Go over your case studies, testimonials on your website, right? So have social proof, put it everywhere. Have an online presence, post everywhere, and then have like a VSL that explains what you do, right? And again, the more of this that you have, the easier it is to convert that cold traffic. And then another thing is, again, right here, put case studies on your site, YouTube, LinkedIn, blah, 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 right? The more of this you have, the easier it is to convert to cold traffic. So please, please, please use this. This is so important, right? And especially if you're a beginner, once you get your first case study, and I'm sure a lot of my agency bros, they know what I'm talking about here. Once you get your first case study as an agency, it's super easy to then go ahead and get your next client, right? Before, when you had no case studies, it's super hard to get customers or clients or whatever it may be. But then as soon as you get your first one, you're like, the next one just comes easily. And it's literally like an agency flywheel, right? So use social proof, build trust with them, and this is very, very important. The last aspect here is sales. So with sales, you have to make sure your sales process is on point and ask as many questions as you can and leverage their pain. So we take in a lot of clients at our agency, and what we notice is that a lot of industries that rely heavily on referrals, it's harder for them to adjust to cold traffic sales. They're used to referral sales, right? So if you're like an agency yourself, let's say you're a marketing agency, and for the past 5 years you've grown your company using referrals, right? Then you start doing cold email, let's say, or paid ads, whatever, and you notice that, okay, I'm booking calls, but like, why am I not closing these people? It's because that second factor, again, of right here. You need to build trust with them, first of all, and then second of all, because when you build that trust and they see that you have case studies and testimonials, you have to have some type of sales process to take them through. It's not like a referral where they just hop on a call with you and they're already sold on you because their friend has worked with you, right? It's not like that. You have to take them through an entire sales process. Ask them questions. Okay, what are you doing right now to help you with their pain? Like, what are you doing right now? How are you trying to solve this? Is this a priority for you right now? What other decision makers are involved? Are you willing to invest X amount? Like, you have to ask them questions, a lot of questions, and dig deep into their pain point, leverage their pain point, get them to ask about, okay, what are your goals in the next 6 months? Like, have you tried getting to that goal? How are you trying right now? What are you doing right now to get there? Right? Ask questions and leverage their pain point. Have a sales process. I'm not the sales guy here to go and give you all this advice. I would say go watch someone like Hermosi, and he's very good, or like Cole Gordon or Jeremy Miner or whatever. But you have to have some type of sales process, ask them questions, leverage their pain point. Then also have a downsell of your main offer. You have to realize with cold traffic, again, you're just a stranger, and if you're reaching out to your ideal customers, they're not gonna just hop on a call with you and spend $10,000 a month with you immediately. That's not gonna happen, right? So you have to have some type of downsell of your main offerings. Like, have something where it's consulting, or have like a smaller package or whatever it is that you do, because they're not going to just hop on a call with you, immediately start spending $10,000 of worth of ads right with you, right? And the final thing is that cold traffic sales is harder than warm traffic sales, obviously. Analyze your sales calls, get more reps in, and improve over time. This is very, very key, right? Because a lot of people think, okay, we'll book all these calls and we'll just start closing deals immediately right off the bat. No. You have to have some type of sales process. You have to walk them through some type of sales process, take them through some type of sales process. And even if your sales is good, sometimes they're not going to want to buy your main offer immediately. So you have to have some type of downsell that nurtures them, and it's some type of lower package. That way, after a while of using the lower package, they'll work with you on your higher package, right? Because again, they're not gonna just hop on a call with you and then buy freaking $10,000 a month of work, $10,000 a month package with you. That's not how it works. You have to nurture them, build that relationship, and then eventually, they will buy with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much it. To kind of give you a summary here, and if you'll let me zoom in, to give you a summary here, just make sure that you have a strong offer. Make sure your targeting and sales process are on point, and build as much trust as you can by leveraging social proof, by having an online presence. So like, subscribe if you like this type of content and you find it valuable. And if you are a B2B business making over $30,000 a month or more and want 10 to 20 qualified calls every single month, and you want results like this, press the link below and you can book a time with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.